advantage of almost the entirety of this first half. The first of 3 games here in Indy this afternoon. Iowa, Ohio State coming up next, and USC Rutgers in the nightcap. Garcia had to sky for that, prevented him from taking the 3. 5 to shoot. Rigsby knocks down a 3. Now KJ went down wrong. Patterson kind of heating the ball up and making Clayton uncomfortable. Now forced a turnover as Garcia. Rigsby for 2. Last 4 points scored by the Gophers.
Just throw it up to the top of the square and let him rip the rim off. It worked out, but that was not the right play.
He wanted to pad Ace's offensive rebound.
And I think that's what it was too.
Rigsby on the blow-by.
What a hesitation.
Their offense, what they're doing, how they're doing it this year compared to last, that they've taken about 9% fewer mid-range 2s than last year. So we're talking about 2 or 3 possessions. If you think about it, 80 points a game, it's about 8 points if you round up. That's more at the foul line, that's more at the rim, and certainly more 3s going up and going down. Rigsby, good fake. Will fire and knock it down. Rigsby. The 3 tenets of this Wisconsin offense: 3-point shots, free throw line, and 2s at the rim. The Badgers at the foul line tonight have been there 10 times, and they've made all 10. Rigsby for 3. Now the bench officially clinches a spot in the Big Ten tournament. Keep in mind, Minnesota began the season 0-6 in league play.
Look at that play. Wow.
And 1. Corey Provis, Robbie Hummel. Senior night at Minnesota. Badgers have defeated the Gophers 8 consecutive times. Rigsby with 4 to shoot.
Almost illegal.
Over Crowell, and Rigsby stays hot.
For everybody but Blackwell, but man, you give up a pretty open 3, and Gilmore drills one from 15.
Approaching the 2-minute mark. Badgers stretching the lead back up to 6. Rigsby got around Gilmore and throws it down.
Afterlife, Pythagoras is probably impressed with that angle.
That's just a theory.
Yes.
Cali, 8 points, 2 rebounds early. They'll go to work with 10 to shoot. 6 to shoot, harassed by Gary and Williams. Rigsby gonna have to go to work, drives inside, and Brennan Rigsby with 2. And 5 of the last 10 games, Cali's been in doubles, averaging 9 points per game in that span, a little above his 6.5 per game average. Quick attack, the kick to Rigsby for an open 3, and Rigsby with 5. 8:25 to go. Minnesota. He's been terrific early. Caden Betts trying to find room. Now awesome. Out to Rigsby. And Rigsby with his second 3. What a...
Would kind of capture that thing.
Hoiberg in the paint. Lost the handle on the ball. Taken away by Osama. Rigsby will push it up. Rigsby drives all the way in. Killed the bucket and the foul.
Nice help by Williams.
Rigsby the open man, and that 3 falls. What a shot!
There's no need to give up easy baskets.
How about Morgan? Oh, good challenge by Dawson Garcia. He's limping, though, behind the play.
That was a big play for any number of reasons. He's back in the ballgame with 4 fouls, and the challenge by Morgan, he maintained verticality, but as you mentioned, landed kind of awkwardly in his favor in one of his ankles.
Now 15 to shoot for Odekali. Rigsby in traffic. Odekali, wild pass to Osama. 7 to shoot. Needs some help. Rigsby toeing the line. That 3 will fall. Oh, what a shot for Rigsby for the follow. Nebraska by 1. Inbound to Patterson. quickly ahead. Rigsby for three. It rolls home. 4.1 seconds.
Clayton, one more pass. It's Mullins. Everybody got a touch, and they can't hit the shot.
It's good to see Justin Mullins taking that jump shot. Young man that has really struggled with his consistency from long range. Just 30% from three-point land, so let's get that number up.
There's Garcia. Defense comes. Slips a pass through. Results in a wide open three-pointer.
Purdue and Iowa. The other three Big Ten games coming up later on tonight across the country. They've got you covered back in Chicago. Full slate of Big Ten action. 10 of the 18 teams in going on here tonight, and then a triple header tomorrow here on Big Ten Network. Rigsby to the bucket, and he gets one to go.
Brennan for a jump shot, as we see right there. Dunn has been leading the charge here for the Nittany Lions.
He's the one that Mike wrote when we talked today about guys to highlight. Rigsby, oh my goodness! And tonight, he was a big reason why Minnesota finished the first half strong. He had back-to-back buckets, including a dunk from the free throw line that got Minnesota going, and he's hoping to get that energy here in the second half.
Attacking mindset is a contagious one right there. You come in off the bench, high-flying like that, your teammates want in.
He's aggressive again, and he's got 6. Find the answer. They're trailing for the first time since early in the game. Javin Carter into the lane. And Dawson Garcia has his 12th rebound.
Good rip and go right there, but he pulled the string.
Garcia has tied his season high with those 12 boards. Patterson working on the freshman. They kick it around. Mitchell has been hot. Tipping around. Pinball. Patterson. Ball to the floor. Bodies to the floor. Rigsby at the end of the buzzer. Banks it in. Early late in the clock for a shot. Enza misses both.
Defense for offense substitute patterns for Coach Johnson.
Inside of 3 minutes to go, Patterson. Back out to Rigsby. He's hit everything. And it continues.
People are talking about the all-time great athletes in this conference.
Freitag misses the three. Rigsby the rebound. The last Minnesota bucket, by the way, by Caleb Williams, who's playing in his 4th game of the season. Rigsby, nifty lay-in.
Transfer from Oregon, getting on the board here.
Silver misses the three, and the rebound tip to Fox. Rigsby knocks it down.
He can do that now.
At a young age, played in the St. Cloud area north of here. And now Minnesota with Odakale leading the charge, coming back the other way, and Brennan Rigsby lays it up and in.
You know, the Gophers obviously haven't been doing that. They've been working on their game.
Odakale got a piece of that shot by Lawson. Isaac Osama spinning, handing to Brennan Rigsby, and he banks it home. Leader on this team in assists, a junior from the D.C. area, just about 45 minutes away from campus. You can see why he's so good at dishing the rock. Now Brennan Rigsby, who's had a tough day from three-point range, but finally...
And in general, outside Dawson Garcia, you know, Isaac Osama was a guy shooting around 50%, but he just doesn't get to the line. He can, though. He's one of those guys who needs to put his feet in the paint and draw fouls and create scoring opportunities. Interesting adjustment here by FDU going to the zone. Gophers carving that up.
Garcia. Yeah, there's no one out there on the floor that can guard Malik Renew in the box. Anytime he's either in the box area or just off the lip, he's got to get the basketball.
Indiana dialing up the defensive intensity. Shot clock under 10. Rigsby winds his way in, and a tough shot against Michigan State. Ben Johnson said he was surprised how well he played. Goody misses the three. Rigsby the rebound. Rigsby working on Goody. He'll go to the well again. How about Brennan? The defensive player of the year in the MAC. Purdue tries the lob and does not connect with anything other than the rim. And Rigsby the other way now for Minnesota.
Nice move.
Very nice move and a good finish.
And today.
Patterson picks it off. Rigsby. Down to Garcia. He'll work on Ward in the post. Rigsby for three. Got it.
Great
Brennan Rigsby. It's love on Edmonds. Excuse me, Ruzon. The floater is way off. And Osama coming down the court. Rigsby jumper, good.
Basket does not count.
Garcia back to Patterson. Handoff to Otakali. Rigsby will get a wide open look and drains it. Thomas loses control of the ball but is able to kick it out. And the three from Willoughby is no good. Otakali will push the pace the other way. Out to Rigsby. The triple drains it. Three, no good. Osama tips it back out to Rigsby. That one's off as well. One more offensive rebound. Patterson's got it now. Back out to Rigsby. Got it.
Third and 6 either way. Spillers has the smaller Rigsby on him. Left the floater short.
I love the fact that Trey Edmonds is getting more minutes in this game. 16, 250 pounds. It's also helping Dawson Garcia not have to do so much of the grunt work on the interior.
In a low-scoring game, his 6 points were pretty important in that first. Nice work from Osama. Hill throws up a...
Now Rigsby with the left hand. Too strong. Garcia lost it. And the loose ball comes back to Minnesota and Rigsby. Turnovers per game entering this one tonight. That's their third already.
You mentioned that's the comparative advantage, at least in one part of the ball game for the Golden Gophers. Only 9 miscues per ball game, plus 4 in turnover margin on the year.
Only 3 turnovers in the win against Yale. Callie looking for Fox, not there, and now Osama finds him, and there's a double. Skip pass, Rigsby for 3.
Nice. I'll tell you what, Parker provided the spark off the bench here so far today.
B-Day can't hit, and the rebound to Patterson. Gophers looking to regain the lead. This trip down the floor. Patterson leaves it for Fox, sets up Rigsby again for 3.
How about the play by
bench players, including Osama? Stevenson tries again, off the mark. 10th rebound for Femi Otakali. Rigsby, great play. Osama went back door.
Opponents by 9.5 per game so far this year. That's kind of every year. Yale is just a good rebounding team year in and year out.
Well, they are, and they scored 50 points in the paint against Purdue. What did they get in their first bucket? A basket going to the paint.
Yeah, points in the paint for Mbang. A senior. Both of these teams are veteran squads. A lot of seniors between the two. And there's a nice desperate flip toward Mitchell with the shot clock winding. Mitchell trying to body his way in position. And he gets his own rebound. Mitchell rolled to the basket. Rigsby took it instead. High off the glass.
Else has to step up for Minnesota.
Patterson averaged 15 a game at Charlotte last year. He fights for the rebound here. Tosses it toward Rigsby. Up against Malloy. Flips it through. Plus
he's got to be able to pick that ball up and swing it. There's open players. Now those open players have to cut to the front of the rim to make themselves available.
Mbang has the 3rd most steals in Yale history. So he is active around the ball on the defensive side. Rigsby, an open look. That's a 3. Winning the tournament last year against Auburn. He's had a handful of blocks to start this season as well, leading the team. Rigsby spins to get some positioning and 2 more
points. So they crack down defensively. Jasper Floyd too short on a 3. Rigsby. Otakali kicks it back. Fox swings. Rigsby open again and drains a 3. Even Atten Wright, a guy that came in averaging 16, he only has 5 tonight. Even with his void, North Texas has still been holding their own.
Yeah, it hasn't been the Gophers not playing good defense. It's just been better on the other end. Garcia going to work. Those two fighting it out again. Stripped away. Asama down low. Finds the pass. Brennan Rigsby hits the Gophers.
A winning energy right now around Gopher athletics with how hockey, both men's and women's, have been doing volleyball in a win streak, and so that's contributed to an overall winning culture that's really helped with momentum.
Yeah, the Gopher football team has won 4 straight for the first time since 2021, and Rigsby keeps the good vibes rolling.